A tradition of the college's commencement ceremony is to hear from a student. This year's student speaker is Leena Ghrayeb. Leena is graduating today with a PhD in Industrial and Operations Engineering. While at Michigan, Leena served as president of the Institute for Operations Research and Management Sciences student chapter and led interdisciplinary research teams at the Center for Healthcare Engineering and Patient Safety, also known as CHEPS, where her teams work to improve the delivery of prenatal care. She's earned several prestigious accolades, including the National Science Foundation Graduate Research Fellowship in 2021 and a Fulbright U.S. Student Research Award to Jordan for 2023 to 2024 academic year. After graduation, Leena aspires to become a professor with a focus on improving healthcare access both in the U.S. and abroad. Leena, please come forward.
Thank you, Dean Tolley, for that very kind introduction. Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you, and good evening, family, friends, faculty, and staff, and congratulations, class of 2025. Today marks not just a milestone in our academic journeys, but a moment of reflection on the experiences that have shaped us. Like many of you, I started my PhD during the COVID pandemic, a time that was defined by isolation and questions about the future. Today, we're graduating in a time that's also filled with uncertainty and maybe even more questions about the future. In hindsight, I probably would not recommend my timing, but even as the world continues to shift and as the challenges kept coming, we kept learning, kept growing, and kept showing up, driven by a desire to make a difference in a world that needs problem solvers like us more than ever. Over the course of my degree, I've realized that success isn't just measured by our academic achievements, but by how we use the skills we've acquired and the lessons we've learned to make a difference. Michigan Engineering has taught us to be the leaders and best. Our professors and mentors some of the brightest minds in our fields dedicated to training the next generation of engineers. To be counted among its graduates is both a privilege and a call to responsibility. With the rich education we've received comes the profound duty to shape the world with our actualized ideas, to be the builders, problem solvers, and innovators in a world that so urgently needs us. Obviously, this isn't a simple task. In our fields, we're often surrounded by models and equations and statistics and data points, all pointing us towards what we would like to believe are clear-cut, data-driven solutions. But in this precision, it can be easy to lose sight of the complexities of the human experience that these numbers often seek to represent. Let's always remember that engineering isn't just about building things or about optimization or efficiency. It's about building a better world for all of us, especially those of us who are too often left behind. For those of you who don't know me, I'd like to share a little bit of my story with you today. I'm the proud daughter of Palestinian immigrants who, like many of your parents, or perhaps like many of you, came to this country seeking better opportunities for themselves and for their families. Their journey was marked with resilience and sacrifice, and they instilled in me and my siblings a deep respect for education and its power to transform lives. I'm also a systems engineer, which means I view the world around me as an interconnected network, and I'm always looking for the bigger picture, for the gaps, for the inefficiencies, and for ways to make things work better. I grew up visiting my extended family in Palestine very frequently, and it was during those visits that I first became interested in healthcare access and how we design our healthcare systems. I watched as my grandfather struggled to obtain medications for his chronic conditions, and as my grandmother unknowingly suffered from colon cancer for 3 years before she passed away. All because they were deprived of access to the routine and very basic health care that I took for granted in the US. Perhaps naively, I wondered if there was anything I could do to help, if somehow the system could be optimized. My dream and my purpose became to someday obtain an education that I could use to benefit my people. Today, I'm realizing a part of that dream. The weight of this moment is not lost on me, and I'm very deeply aware of the privilege it is to be graduating with you all today, and to do so in a time when safety has resorted to being a luxury as opposed to a fundamental human right. We aren't just lucky to be graduating from Michigan. We are lucky to be in positions where we can seek more for ourselves. Throughout my time at Michigan, whether through my dissertation research, which focused on addressing disparities in prenatal care in the US, or through my Fulbright research in Jordan, which focused on refugee healthcare systems, I've learned a lot about what it means to design equitable systems. Maybe the most difficult realization I came to is that we cannot and should not separate the work we do from the contexts we live in. No matter how well-intentioned we are, there is no optimizing systems that fundamentally oppress, that are unjust by design, or that simply aren't allowed to exist. We are surrounded by systemic issues, both here in the US and abroad, that require systemic and thoughtful solutions. I believe that we're uniquely equipped to be the leaders and drivers of these changes. The choices we make, how we use our voices, and what we stand for will shape the future. And so I urge you to actively and consciously challenge your biases, to always advocate for marginalized voices, especially when it seems daunting and scary, and to always consider the social, economic, and cultural impacts of your work. Let our work be a reflection not of the world as it is, but as it could be and should be, fairer, kinder, and more human. As I stand before you today, I am filled with admiration and pride for all of the remarkable people in this graduating class. I am so lucky to call so many of you my friends. We've faced challenges that few could have imagined, and we've met them with resilience and passion and hope. And as we move into this next chapter, let our education be more than a milestone. Let it be used for the collective good. Use your talents for impact and your voices to uplift. Stay curious, stay humble, and most importantly, stay kind. Congratulations, class of 2025. I can't wait to see the mark we leave on the world.
Thank you so much, Leena. We all learned from your words and are inspired.